The number one thing that stops most people from following their creative dreams is good old-fashioned confidence. Most of us are unintentionally letting other people steal our confidence. So in this video, I'm just going to give you 5 quick tips to help you get your creative mojo back. And the best thing about these tips is it's actually going to boost your confidence in every single area of your life because it's all connected and it's not separate. So I come from the school of do hard things and boost your confidence from inside of you. So tip number 1 is confidence is an inside job. It's something you have to cultivate. You can't expect anyone else to give it to you. It's something you train yourself into, and you train yourself into it by doing hard things. Doing hard things creatively, doing hard things physically, mentally, pushing yourself. You look at the people who have the balls to keep showing up and keep sharing their art no matter what. And the thing that you'll find is that most of them have no attachment to the outcome. They've overcome that part of themselves that's like, you tell me if it's good. Seeking that external validation of someone else to tell us that our creativity is even worth it. You know, you've got to get to the point. You've got to overcome that small part of you that wants to keep you safe and cozy, because if you really want to live your creative dreams, it's not going to be safe and cozy. So if you want to boost your confidence, you've got to intentionally choose the hard path and not necessarily think of it as a bad thing. You know, I think we've gotten into this trap of thinking that hard is bad. And I really am such an advocate for reframing that to hard is good. Hard is growth. Hard is satisfying. The more difficult something is, the more you have to push yourself to overcome resistance mentally, emotionally, physically to do the thing, the more fulfillment and satisfaction and confidence that you get from doing that thing. So go and do hard things. Number 2 is your creativity is an expression of who you are being. When we look at someone else's masterpiece, we're not just seeing the product, like the finished product. We're actually taking in the imprint of every single thing that went into them being the person that could follow through on their creative inspirations. And that includes the discipline, the hours and hours and hours of practice and trial and error, the failed attempts, the sacrifices of them giving up on everything else they could have been doing with their time and choosing to do that thing. And it's humbling. You know, that's why we are so in awe of other people's creations, because we're not just seeing the finished product, we're seeing that person and who they chose to be in order to follow through on that. So to build your confidence, you've got to just keep going. You need to do things that are going to build your resilience, because when you're walking the path of a creative, there's going to be failed attempts. There's going to be moments where you're like, this is awful. Like, I can't do this. There's no point. I hate it. I'm not talented. I'm not good enough. All of that. You need to do things that are going to let you move through that and keep going. Which brings me to tip number 3, which is pretty simple, really. It's identify the habits and behaviors that elevate your confidence and do them. Like, let's be honest, most of us know exactly what we need to do to get from where we are to where we want to be. It's just that a lot of that is really tedious, repetitive, hard work. And in this age of instant gratification, we want the quick fix, we want the, magic pill, and there isn't one. But if you can get to a point where you can just realize that discipline gives you great freedom, because it means you don't have to overthink things. You can just be in action. And that's how we reach, perfectionism doesn't exist, but we perfect things along the way. We improve, we build our confidence by doing the thing. So sometimes we just have to push ourselves to take action. Tip number 4 is don't rely on your creativity to give you something that you're not willing to give yourself. I fell into this trap for such a long time where I was like really down on myself. My confidence was at an all-time low. I had no self-belief, and I kept creating things and putting them out into the world and expecting other people to tell me how amazing I was, even though I didn't believe it. And it just doesn't work like that. So don't ask your creativity to give you something you're not willing to give yourself. Do the things that are going to fill your cup. Do the things that are going to make you feel amazing and alive and vibrant and well. And a lot of that is lifestyle. Number 5 is take the pressure off. There is so much pressure in life. Like, it is actually ridiculous. And the last thing we need to be doing is having these really high expectations of ourselves in relation to our artistry. For me, I am a sketchbook artist. I'm a portrait artist. That's my love. But as soon as I started making it something that I had to do to make money and build a following and all those high pressure things, I didn't want to do it anymore. It was I have to, not I really want to. So come back to the reason why you want to create. And when we do that and just let go of the outcome, we realize it's not about perfection. Like, perfection doesn't exist, and perfection happens over a long period of time anyway. It's about doing it, getting it done, producing the next piece, evaluating it, and refining over a period of time. So if you've lost your confidence in your creativity, I want you to stop and ask, where am I letting the outside world dictate how I feel? And where am I not cultivating that in myself? Because that's huge. Things like lifestyle, diet, exercise, doing hard things, meditation, training mental toughness. I really think these things are so key when we choose to walk the path of bringing our creative dreams to life, because, like I said, it's not an easy path, but it's a satisfying and fulfilling one because of who you get to become in the process. I am such a firm believer that we really need to reframe the idea that easy equals good and hard equals bad. In the last year, I have learnt how much struggle and doing hard things makes me feel like a badass. You know, it makes me feel unshakable. It doesn't matter what life throws at me because I choose to do hard things on a daily basis. Which means when things do come up that rock my confidence, that try and, push me off my center, it doesn't matter because I know that I'm capable of so much. And that's my wish for you too. Like, I think everyone can actually cultivate this in themselves. And it means that you're a badass. You can create and not care what anyone thinks, not care about the outcome, but do it because you just want to do it. So if this is something you want to dive further into, I've actually written a free 20-page ebook where I share 5 lessons that I learned from investing over $100,000 and 10 years of my life in so many courses and programs that told me they were going to change my life, and none of them worked. And the thing I realized was, it's not that the programs weren't good, it's actually that I didn't learn the foundational skills that I needed to follow through on what I needed to do to make them work. So I want to save you guys a hell of a lot of money and a big chunk of time and give you the lessons that I learned about what it really takes to actually bring your creative dreams to life. So you can find it in the description below. It's just a free download. I really hope it helps you because, yeah, like I said, it was a very long, expensive lesson for me. You're welcome. So if you don't want to hear about discipline, resilience, and good old-fashioned hard work, then definitely don't subscribe to this channel because that's what I'm all about. But if you want more butt-kicking life hacks for creatives that will help you be a badass creator, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you want to follow me on social media, it's at Lauren Monty Creative on all the platforms. And I will see you guys in the next video. Mwah!